Hey New York Giants fans, we're into the off-season here, and during the week I had asked you guys to submit some questions to me either via the website or via Twitter, and I've got a few good questions today. So here are the questions, and here are my answers. Okay, first question regards the possibility of former Chicago Bears coach Lovie Smith becoming the defensive coordinator of the Giants. Sean says Lovie is a proven defensive coach in the NFL. I'm not sure Lovie would agree to coming to the Giants, but Sean asks if it makes a lot of sense for Lovie to come to the Giants and possibly as defensive coordinator and head coach in waiting. My answer to that is that I really dislike the whole coach in waiting thing. I think that puts the current head coach in a difficult situation, sort of a, hey, we're preparing for your exit, you know, we're giving you a gentle push out the door. I don't think the Giants would do that to Tom Coughlin. Also, I don't believe at this point in time that Lovie Smith is ready to step back and become a defensive coordinator. I think he would prefer, even if it doesn't happen for him this year, you know, my best guess is that he would prefer to wait another year and see if he can get a job as a head coach, you know, maybe for 2014. You know, and besides the point, you know, this is all sort of irrelevant because we know Pierre-Paul isn't going anywhere. You know, this isn't the first time I've heard the Lovie Smith talk. But, you know, the reality is that just isn't going to happen for the Giants in 2013. Our next question comes via Twitter, and I was asked if the Giants would be making a move for a middle linebacker or another defensive back via free agency or via the draft. And, you know, I think it's a pretty good bet that the Giants will address one or both of those positions in some fashion during the offseason. You know, we've talked about it a lot. The defense is the area where most of the change with the Giants seems to be necessary. You know, when it comes to middle linebacker, that's a huge question for the Giants in 2013. Do they draft somebody? You know, the obvious name, despite all of the things going on, the obvious name is Manti Te'o. Do they bring back Chase Blackburn? Do they give the job to Mark Herzlich? Do they re-sign Keith Rivers and see if he might be the answer in the middle? How they go about the middle linebacker situation and the linebacker situation in general heading into 2013 is one of the most interesting questions of the entire offseason. As for defensive back, we know that Corey Webster is owed a lot of money for next season. We know he had an awful year. It will be very interesting to see if the Giants keep Webster, if they cut him for salary cap relief, if they ask him to restructure. I think it's safe to assume that if the right player comes along in the draft or free agency, you know, that the Giants wouldn't hesitate to at least supplement that position somewhat. And our final question also comes from Twitter, and it regards Martellus Bennett, and we're asked if Martellus is a sure thing to re-sign with the Giants for next season. And the reality of that is that there's no way that Bennett could be considered a sure thing. He is an unrestricted free agent. As the Giants have found out over the years with guys like Kevin Boss, with guys like Steve Smith, there are no guarantees when it comes to unrestricted free agents. Obviously, we don't know what sort of offers Bennett will get. Free agency doesn't happen for a couple more months yet. But there might be a team out there willing to give Bennett a long-term expensive contract, which would be more than the Giants would be willing to spend. So there are no guarantees. We know Bennett was productive in his first year with the Giants. We know he has said he wants to come back. there's really no reason, off of his performance and the attitude that we saw from him in 2012. There's no reason why the Giants wouldn't want him back. It seems to me that this is a deal that will get done. But again, there's no guarantees because we have no idea at this point how the rest of the NFL sees Bennett and what teams might be willing to offer him. All right, Giants fans, that's this week's edition of the Big Blue View video mailbag. Keep sending questions to bigblueview@gmail.com and check us out on Twitter and on Facebook. And we'll be talking to you soon. And remember, we'll be talking Giants every day at Big Blue View. Thanks.